and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management. When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! What's going on, Doc? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, brother. Send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, I know we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. Bottom line is you got to buckle up your win straps. It's a race. There's so much cry from that. He's a man. They can be a kid. He's a man. He's a man. How do you step on the field, man? Guess what? When I step on the field, I send one message.
And this is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You're bad on work in my world.
Nah, man.
Ray is something else, man.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of miss covering him.
Hey, we're going to get it going again, man. We're going to get a lot of these guys out of retirement with these NFTs, man.
Nah, this game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. And y'all, all the way back from Vegas is none other than Big G, Garrick Jones, on Oh My Goodness Monday. G, you had a bunch of oh my goodness moments out there in Vegas. Man, you got to tell us, what have you been up to, man? What have you been up to?
Man, we've been cultivating this hashtag athlete take back movement, where it's a group of individuals, former players, former teammates, and so on and so forth, business associates. And we just put this movement together, man. Everybody was working toward, trying to even the playing field for athletes and fans. So ultimately, we decided to just come together and form this fist so we can make this mighty blow. We wanted to make sure that we're felt, not just heard, but felt. And then that's what we did over that weekend in Vegas, man. We made some history. We got a lot of major players in the game now, and we're just going to keep it going, man.
Garrick, you have been talking about this for a minute. For those who don't know, this is Garrick Jones, former member of the Houston Texans, former player in the NFL, the CFL, went out, started the S.D.F.L, was in the running for commissioner in the NFL. And then, it's not like it hit all of a sudden. You've been talking about it. It was all about the athlete take back and giving the fans some stake in some of these professional organizations and all of that. And here we are today, man. Here we are today. So, tell us, I saw some pretty amazing faces and heard some names over that past week in Vegas.
Man, yeah. So what we did was we launched a fantasy football platform that is run just like the NFL. Okay. You got 32 teams, 53-man rosters. You got to set up your organizations as if you were, your presidents, your GMs, your offense and defensive coordinators, your scouts, and all those different things, and basically what it is it's going to be a situation where it's ran exactly like the NFL, and these guys got to put in the work. And, me being from that sports management background, I got a chance to really vet a lot of these guys and look at the passion a lot of these guys had, especially from a upper management standpoint. These guys are really putting in the work. They come from that fantasy football back position to actually be competing against guys who actually played. You know, it's one of those things, man. So, you know, we have Chris Carter, Mike Vick, and Bud Crawford. You know, they won the actual auction itself, and they get the first pick. And they have their teams. We got some Hall of Famers from the CFL that has teams. Nick Lewis and his group. Man, we got Devon Claybrooks, a few other guys that are Super Bowl champions, Grey Cup champions. Man, we had a good time, man, where it's going to be really a good scenario as an incubator, if you will, for a lot of these guys, because a lot of these guys are going to get that opportunity to take it to the next level. So we just made it happen, man. Made it happen.
What's interesting is when I was looking at it, it's almost like a flight simulator. It's almost like an incubator. Like you sit down in the captain's chair, but you're not really on the spaceship. So you learn how to put it together, and how everything works, and to drive it. And man, I think it's going to be big, especially when you got those kind of folks coming on board. What did some of the guys say about it, like Chris Carter from Middletown, Ohio, like Mike Vick and all those guys? What did they say about the fan-centric?
I mean, they love all the platforms that are a part of this deal, man. You know, Nate Burleson, we had a call with Nate a while back, and we kind of broke down all of the different platforms and the token launches that we're going to do. And he fell in love with the platform from day one. And he was like, man, I'm in. Whatever I need to do, just let me know. So Nate's a part of this situation. We got Walt Harris. We got a ton of guys that are coming in. I mean, we got a waiting list of guys now after they saw what happened in Vegas and the fact that, you know, we are involved in the NFTs and giving those guys an opportunity to unretire and play this game digitally now. They love it, man. They love the fact that they've already paid the price on the field and they can leverage what they've done on the field to be a part of these platforms, man. And it's just going to get bigger and better because, you know, we're going to be releasing these tokens. We're going to be opening up these programs and platforms that we have, and one platform begets the next. And we're just going to change the world, man. I mean, we've talked about it for a long time. I know I've talked about it, and I've been implementing things since I was playing. You know, that was a long time ago, but it takes 10 years to be a overnight success, man. And so we do. It's time.
Yeah. Garrick Jones joining us here on the lunch break. Oh, my goodness, Monday. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about how some of the fans can get involved and where they need to go to be a part of the athlete take back. Look, y'all can't have all the fun, man. Y'all can't have all the fun. We'll be right back with Garrick Jones right here. Oh, my goodness, Monday on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. That's 800-298-0139.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers for America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
My name is Devon McDonald from Jamaica, live with Indianapolis Colts, and listen, you listen to the lunch break.
Man, what they really want from us. Garrick and them out there giving power to the players. I'm
Yes,
trying to
sir.
figure out how I can get a little bit of that right here on Oh My Goodness Monday. Again, Garrick Jones, former member of the Houston Texans, former NFL player, played in the CFL, and has done a whole lot business-wise on and off the field. And we got him on the show. And Garrick, again, it's hashtag athlete takeback.
Yes,
Hashtag
sir.
athlete takeback.
Yes, sir.
When you
Yes,
saw
sir.
what happened recently with Maria Taylor at ESPN, how she, kind of parlayed what she did, overcame adversity, didn't get caught down in the weeds, and now
Right.
she's riding a nice little situation over with NBC. When you look at some of the players that have parlayed things, man, I'm looking at PJ Tucker over Milwaukee.
Mhm.
Initially he probably wanted to stay in Houston, but look at how things worked out for him now.
Right.
Bobby Portis and how he turned down situations. Those are situations where the athletes use their power in their respective areas and arenas and got something back. You're
Right.
trying to give that to athletes even after they're done. Talk
Right.
about it.
I mean, you think about athletes as a whole. We've entertained millions and millions of people for years. And when you're done, it's almost like you're discarded. And it's unfortunate that it's like that. But when you're put out to pasture like that, you're not relevant a lot of times. And a lot of people think that. And it's an unfortunate way to think. So what we wanted to do is make sure that even though athletes are done and even while they're playing, they understand the significance that they have because they've generated billions of dollars for organizations. And when you're done, you're done. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's fair because of some of the areas that these athletes come from, myself included. I look at the space that I'm in today and the tables and the desk and the chairs I'm able to sit in right now. I never seen that when I came up, but now it's time for us to give back and put athletes and their families in a position to win. And not only just the athletes, but the fans as well.
Yeah.
Because you think about the two most important groups to a professional organization in sports are your fans and your athletes. If you don't have either one of those, you have nothing but a great idea. So it's time to give it back to the fans and the athletes.
You got to say that again for the people in the back, man, because there's some folks that when it comes down to Garrick Jones,
Yeah.
The contract extension and want some more money. Oh,
Right.
well, the owners are the ones that take all the risk.
Right.
Listen, without the fans and the athletes, the owners would have a idea.
Have nothing. And that's what we're really wanting to bring to light, because you got to educate people. If you keep them in the dark long enough, they'll think that this is the situation and how it has to be. And it's unfortunate that it's been this way for so long. But with what we have on the table and what we bring to the table, we bring solutions for those leagues. You think about them making billions and billions of dollars a year. When we bring what we bring to the table, they can make trillions of dollars a year. And that's what this thing is about, is to be able to help everybody. Because if your fans are making more money, of course, you can charge more money. So we got to make sure that these fans are in a position where they're accredited investors. Because right now, 10% of every one of these fans that are out there are not considered accredited investors. So they're robbing Peter to pay Paul to come pay all these high prices to these games. Yeah. And it's not fair. So we got to change that.
Garrick Jones, former member of the Houston Texans, former player in the NFL, CFL, founder and commissioner of the S.D.F.L, and doing some great things with hashtag athlete takeback and fan centric. So break it down for us, man. You using cryptocurrency, you using blockchain. I mean, you're using all the latest technology that some folks haven't even really delved into.
Right.
When we look at the DraftKings and the FanDuel and all that kind of stuff, what makes what you're doing different?
Well, what makes what we're doing different is education. Normally when you become a part of a group or a community, you learn some things, but they're not really things that you can actually, practically put into play.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do was expose people to certain practices and certain instances and be able to teach them. Once you teach them, that's a wealth that never goes away. That's a wealth that's passed down.
Yeah.
And that's part of the generational wealth that we talk about, and that is paramount. This is a priority, to be able to put people in a position where they can pass down wealth, not only just from a physical standpoint or a mental standpoint, but also from a monetary standpoint too, because you want to be able to take care of your family from the grave. So you look at all these different programs like FanDuel and whatever else is out there. It's entertainment. And I
Yeah.
get it. You know, it's beautiful to be entertained, but we've been entertained enough. It's time to be educated. And that's what we're all about with this whole athlete take back movement. It's to really just expose and then from there educate. And once you educate, now you give everybody a chance to be successful and you even the playing field. And that's exactly what we've done. We've married a lot of different platforms, but most importantly, you know, we're going to educate the entire time. And that's something that nobody's doing.
Right. I can tell you without a doubt, FanDuel ain't educating you on nothing but how to place your suggestion
All right.
and collect if your
Exactly.
suggestion proves to be right.
There
That's
you
all
go.
you're educated on.
Right.
Garrick, so how do the fans get involved? How do they partake in this great stuff that we're seeing? Nate Burleson,
Right.
Chris Carter, Michael Vick, and others. How do they get involved with them cats?
Well, they just have to go out and search the hashtag athlete take back. Once they do that, then you'll start to see all of the different factions that are a part of this movement, because we have maybe 9 or 10 different groups that are a part of this thing, like AL Sports. You got Chip In, you got the fan-centric communities and IG, which is going to be a really big platform because that's a platform for the people. You have Pixelberg, you have Rampage, you have UFFS, you got the Athlon Family Office. You have so many different factions that are a part of this movement, and everybody's bringing their area of expertise to the table. So they're authoritative figures in their space, but we're bringing this thing together to form that fist. And once you do that, you give everybody a chance to win. So what you wouldn't have been exposed to in your space, you now have that. You have access to all those different things, and that's what we're doing right now, man. We're just making it a really beautiful situation for everybody, man.
What sites do they need to go to, or what hashtags do they need to hit to get more information about what's to come and how they can be a part of it?
Well, hashtags are going to be your best friend in this deal. Hashtag athlete take back.
Okay.
You got hashtag fan-centric.
Okay.
That's going to give you all the information on the fan-centric movement. You got AO Sports TV. You got Chip In. And then I'm telling a lot of people, you know, from the standpoint of getting more information on all these token releases and so on and so forth, they actually can go to t.me/fan-centric.
Okay.
And that's t.me/fan-centric. And what that is a Telegram group where you can go in and start to get the information about the token sales, the pre-sales, the public sales, the friends and family sales, and everything that's going on with that fan-centric movement. Because, you know, this is a movement for the people. The people started this. Yeah. And I'm just a messenger that's just putting the word out like everybody else will, you know, and just let everybody know organically this is what's going on. The people are speaking. Yeah. And I'm just happen to be somebody who has a bit of a voice, and I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, man. Very, very trusted voice in the community. And I mean that sincerely. And I'm talking about professional sports community and various communities around the country. Let me hit a quick break. I want to come back and I want to ask you about something that just popped up in the news recently and how that plays into what we're talking about today.
Right.
Garrick Jones right here on the lunch break. If you want in 281-453-1000, that's 281-453-1000. Or, you know, you can text me 832-403-5005. I'll be waiting on you on the lunch break.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. That's 800-219-8332.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control, with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
Hi,
Last
I'm
one,
Larry
Jim.
Scott, host of the Not So Christian Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Jonathan Joseph with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I like to play that because Jonathan Joseph was one of them good cats.
Right, good dude, man, real good dude.
I hung him up this past off season, and can't wait to see what he's gonna do next. I have a feeling he's gonna be a part of the athlete take back. I'm just saying.
Hey.
Anyway, we are on Oh My Goodness Monday here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM streaming live KYOKradio.org. I got Garrick Jones, former member of the Houston Texans, former member of the NFL, CFL, founder, commissioner, States Developmental Football League, and doing big things with hashtag athlete take back, hashtag fan centric, and more. So, Garrick, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Seeing that LeBron James just became the first NBA player to become a billionaire with a B while still playing.
Right.
About $300 million from his salary, about $700 million for the stuff off the court.
Mm-hmm.
That don't happen often. Only 5 other athletes have done that. Tiger Woods, 2 soccer players, and I'm missing the 5th one. But my point in saying that is athletes have to realize that there's more than just that paycheck that comes from the owner.
Right. Now, I mean,
after they're playing, it's more than just going into coaching and what have you.
Right.
I mean, there's ownership out there. Talk about LeBron's situation and then bring it on back to what you guys are doing.
Okay. Well, just to kind of segue off what you said, if you're relying on that one stream of income coming in from somebody paying you, your boss will never pay you enough to live next door to him. And I said that once, and I'll say that a million more times.
I got that from you. And that when you said it the first time, that shit fills down my spine. My boss is never going to pay me enough.
Nah.
Door to him.
Nah, it's not set up for him to do that. You know what I'm saying? And still be in business, right? So as athletes, we have to leverage what we've done on the field, in order to facilitate us being able to be in that position. And you got to understand that, from jump, that professional sports is a platform to do bigger and better things. And once you really get it and really understand it, you're able to do some magnificent things and change a lot of people's lives in the process, and also garner a lot of attention and hate, because if they're not hating it, you're not doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
I told somebody that the other day, Garrett. If they are not hating on you, you are not doing something right.
Man, I need those bullets, man, because that lets me know I'm on the right track. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that thing is about. But ultimately, for LeBron to be in company of those very few athletes, one thing that tells me is that, we've been doing it wrong all this time. So what we are doing with this particular athlete take back movement is we're going to normalize that. We're going to normalize families being taken care of, from generation to generation. Those are things that are not normalized in our community. Yeah. It's normalized to pick up that basketball or pick up that football or pick up that microphone to get out of the hood, when clearly there's more to it than that. but we've never been exposed to it. So now it's about, catching them at an early age in this name, images, and likenesses situation that's going on, and teaching. And teaching them the right way. So by the time they sign that NFL or NBA or NHL or MLB contract, they have 7 streams of income coming in. So it's about $1 million in mindset, and we got to start early, and we got to give it to them, in a way, in a vernacular that they can understand. And that's exactly what we're doing with everything that's going on. So it's not just the athletes now, it's the fans as well, because we want to put the fans in a position where we're economically developing them at the same time. Right. So they're not skipping out on light bills in order to go get that experience and come home with nothing, but arguments and frustration when they get home. We're going to change that, and that's what we're doing.
I'm glad you brought up the name, image, and likeness thing, and the fact that it was really not set up for that, because when you look at some of the comments made by coaches who've been getting, wealthy for a long time off this stuff.
Right.
One coach, I ain't gonna call his name, Nick Saban, had the nerve to say his quarterback is making ungodly money.
Right.
Off of name, image, and likeness. I ain't knocking him. Dude making about $2 million. Right. How is that ungodly money when he's helping you make $100 million?
Exactly.
Makes sense, Gary.
It doesn't. I mean, it's business as usual, and that's the unfortunate thing about it, because how we've always done it, it doesn't work, especially now. Because of the fact that COVID and everything that has gone on has exposed a lot and has forced people to really look within themselves to begin to learn. So you look at all these different aspects of the stock market, the digital currencies, everything that's going on, marketing and promotion, branding, everything that you see nowadays is at a heightened level because everybody's aware now. Everybody's intentional about what they're doing, what they're putting out, and how to monetize that. Yeah. And the youngsters that are in college right now have the opportunity to take this thing to the next level. And I had a conversation earlier this morning, man, talking about the whole Division I situation that I went through and how I was part of making, these college teams millions and millions of dollars. But when it came down to it in the summertime, I was hungry.
Yeah, man.
I was hungry. I couldn't have a job. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. And I wasn't going to get out and do anything that was illegal. Right. So I had to make a decision. So I ended up leaving school early because I understood that I was putting my life on the line. I was working more than 90 hours a week. And it was rough. It was rough. And I wasn't getting paid for it. So I said, hey, let me go ahead and figure this thing out. But now, thankfully, that they're correcting that right now with that whole name, image, and likenesses situation. So like I say, for what we have set up, be it Global Fan Exchange, be it Fan Centric, be it AO Sports, be it Chip In, be it UFFS with the NFTs and everything that goes on, these athletes now have the opportunity, like I said, to have a millionaire mindset, to have 7 streams of income coming in before they even dream of signing a professional contract. So that way, when they sign that contract and make that team, it's purely because they wanted to prove to themselves they could, not out of financial necessity.
Man, I love it. Boy, I love the sound of that like crazy, man. I really do. Garrick Jones, former member of the Houston Texans, NFL, CFL, States Development and Football League, and now athlete take back and fan centric. Garrick, so when I hear you talking about that, that means you guys are trying to get on the high school level. You're trying to get on the college level. You're trying to reach these young folks before they get in front of a general manager and an agent and all these different folks to say, hey, I'm educated. I see what that clause says, but I'm educated enough to know that's going to tie me in ways I don't want to be tied in. That gives them, power coming into those meetings.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just hunger.
Absolutely, man. It's we want them puppies to pros. We want to be able to touch them. We want to be able to mentor them. We want to be able to help mold them in the right way. Right. Because right now it's the wild, wild west when it comes to this whole name, images, and likenesses situation. Right now, you got so many people trying to come to the country. You got so many people trying to do different things because they see all of the money. Yeah, they see everything. And I tell people all the time, you have to be consistent with everything that you do. So when it really comes down to it, you're able to stand head and shoulders above the rest. But also, you got to understand, when the gold rush happened, You got all these people, migrating to the West Coast to go, hunt for gold and all these different things and mines and everything that goes on. But realistically, the people that made the money were the people that were selling the tools.
Yeah.
So you got to understand what your position is and what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
And if you don't bring anything to the table, you won't last long. And that's clearly what we are bringing a lot to the table. We're bringing solutions to the table. So we're going to be around. I've been doing this thing for a minute. I've been consistent with it. I've been training these youngsters for a while to be ready for this moment. And now that it's here, we're prepared for it. It's not anything that we weren't ready for. We're in a good spot.
Give them those hashtags again, Garrick, where folks can go and get more information about what we're talking about here today.
They can go to hashtag athlete take back. And that's where you're going to get the overall scope. You'll see so many different posts from all these different organizations. And those are the organizations that are a part of what it is that we're doing. In which you have a streaming service dealing with nothing but athlete and athlete-owned content, similar to a Netflix or a Hulu, where you have all of these different aspects going on. You'll have from the philanthropic side with Chip In, UFFS with the sports franchises, dealing with fantasy football, fantasy hockey. We're looking at trying to do the fantasy soccer. I got to talk to them a little bit about that.
I got you.
Yeah, we got a few things, man. I mean, but you'll get a chance. You'll get a chance to see the scope of the entire deal. Definitely, from the family office space, people aren't really familiar with that because that's a space that is really reserved or has been reserved for your elites, your one percenters. I'm a part of that now, just from the work that I put in, and we're bringing that space to everybody as well. So we're just marrying what we're doing in order to give everybody a better foothold on this thing. So it'd be hashtag athletes take back. And then you want to go hashtag fan centric. So you can get the information in regards to that, because that movement is geared toward the fans and the athletes as well, for them to be able to have not only the knowledge from a sports management situation, but also learning financial literacy, business, credit repair and restoration. And we want to take you from one space to the next space, which is ultimately being an accredited investor, but also being able to buy this digital currency, where we're going to be looking to acquire a lot of these sports properties that we cheer for each and every year, because it's time for us to have a voice in this deal, and it's time for us to have an opportunity to have more power when it comes down to it, and that's what this thing is about.
It's almost like you go from being the minority to the majority right off the bat, just by
yes, sir.
With these various groups and organizations underneath your umbrella.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Now, listen, man, you did talk about athletes and everything, and your journey, if you will, from the trunk of your car to NFL training camps.
Right.
Training camps are about to open. Some have already opened. Right. Tell us what these young men are going through right now. What's going through their heads as they're walking on to these NFL teams, training camps for the first time, and what that experience is like.
Man, it's a lot of uncertainty. It's a lot of newness. It's a lot of anxiety, because that they're coming in with 90 guys, and they have to whittle it down to 53. So somebody has to go home. Somebody's not going to make the team.
Right.
And you're in these meeting rooms and you start looking around and you're counting in your head like, okay, all right, I had this amount of reps and I might have messed up on one of these reps, but I did better than this guy. So I got to keep trying to build. So it's all about mental toughness. It's all about getting to know your teammates, but at the same time, not being too friendly. It's a dog eat dog type of situation. That training camp mentality is something different because it's Groundhog's Day. Every day is the same thing. And unfortunately, fans don't get a chance to see that because of the fact that you may see something on the news one day, and then 4 or 5 days later, you might see something else on the news, and it jogs your memory when these guys are living it every day. They're going out there and be physical with their bodies, the mental games, the Jedi mind tricks that the coaches play. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. So, for a youngster to be coming in, man, it's a hard situation because a lot of these guys, even though they played ball at college, their families were there. Now they're probably all the way across the country somewhere, and their family's not there, but a phone call. But you're too tired to make that phone call. So it's a lot different. It's a lot of growing up. And like I say, there is no job security. People think that these guys are making money going into training camp when really they're not.
Mhm.
You play your preseason games, and you may make $400 or $500 a game until you make the team. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's one of those deals where you come to camp and you might be losing money. But that's what we're here to do, just educate everybody so they understand it, especially the fans, because we need to bridge the gap between the fans and the athletes. You got
Mhm.
to understand we are one of the same. And the moment that these guys are done and they're watching the game from the couch now, you get a chance to see that the fans, have something to say, the athletes have something to say, and we have so much in common. But unfortunately, we don't get a chance to really express that or get into that until now, with this fan-centric movement. So
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, Garrick, because like we saw the situation with Richard Sherman,
right,
and you had so many people questioning his agent and where was his management team, and
right,
how could he have presented himself like that with all that money he
right.
made. And I'm sorry, Richard Sherman is human, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He's not
Oh
a
man, come on,
cyborg, right? He's not
come on,
it's not
come on.
AI, right?
Yeah,
It's a human named Richard Sherman.
right, right,
Um, from a management standpoint, you taking the agent certification and all that.
right.
How do you educate the guys heading into camps, and how do you talk to them about situations like what we saw with Richard Sherman and others?
Man, you make that a priority. You don't make that something that's reactive. You make that proactive. You make time to take out of that physical schedule that they're going to have, beginning in training camp or OTAs or whatever. As soon as they get there, you take 4 or 5 days out of that schedule, and you really get them to understand that, number one, you're here for them. You're here for their mental health, because mental health is non-negotiable.
Yeah, it is.
It's non-negotiable. We can go out here and run around all day. That's easy. But to
Right.
be able to sit down with somebody and allow yourself to be vulnerable enough is something different. That's an entirely different animal. And when you're trained to rise above and be elite and be this and be that, you get to a point to where you have to save yourself from those. You got to save the athletes from themselves
Yeah.
a lot of times. And that's a lot of pressure. Having all the people that you got to take care of or whatever the deal may be. Everybody's situation is different, but that's a pressure that if you have never been there, you will never know that type of pressure.
Mhm.
But as an upper management or a team or an owner or whatever the situation is, I'm cutting some of that schedule out, and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk, and I'm gonna be accessible because I'm going to teach you from my testimony so you understand these are the things that you don't do. These
Yeah.
are the things that are going to happen, and this is how we're going to help you. And you don't have enough of that today. It's all about the bottom dollar and the bottom line, and it's unfortunate because once again, the fans and the players are looked at as commodities. So you can always be replaced. So it's not no. We're human. We're a part of this equation, and we need to be recognized as such.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you again breaking this down. I know you got a couple of guys that are trying to make rosters and what have you, and again, my thoughts are knowing you fully prepared them as best you can with the real, not it's about to be on and popping. Oh, bottles,
Right,
about to pop bottles. We about to run.
right. That's
So much
movies, man. That's not
more
real.
than just that. And if you don't get to a day one, you might not have a day two to get to it.
Boy, you said a mouthful there, man. There's no job security, and that's even if you make the club. Every Tuesday, they're bringing somebody in to replace you. Every Tuesday, and people don't understand that. Like, there is somebody coming to replace you. Doesn't matter who you are. You might be the top tier guy. Every team has one or two or three, and that's by design. But at the end of the day, the majority of what your team is built on is guys that are blue collar guys that come to work and they shut up and they put their pads on.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that you build your organizations with. And those are the guys that are looked at as, hey, I can get rid of him and bring somebody in that's cheaper. Because the moment you sign your contract, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, the moment you sign your contract, it's like a car when you drive it off the lot. You're depreciating, except it's in reverse. Your salary goes up, and there's always going to be somebody younger and cheaper coming through the door each and every year. So you're on your way out.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out how to make sure that you're going to maximize this thing and also be able to keep your mind in a good place. So you think about the Richard Sherman situation. He's a smart guy, very smart guy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's human, and these pressures build up.
Yeah.
And when your career is in the balance, okay, what am I going to do now? Even though I have something set up, what am I going to do now? Because this has been so regimented in my life since I was a child. Now I no longer have that. And now you get to fade into the obscurity, and the fans say, oh, next man up, because they bought into what these owners have said and what the league has said. And it's clearly not what needs to be. We need to be looked at as people. We need to be looked at as individuals, and then we need to be looked at and given a voice. And that's the athletes and the fans. So that's what we are, man.
Bruh, we got to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about the team that didn't make the right choice. We'll be right back.
Let's do it.
After this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by
Let's do it, man.
Pay close attention to this
I thought
message.
so.
Medicare has introduced some new
And you know
benefits
what's funny, man?
during these cautious.
The GM they have, he's a good guy, right? He's a real good guy.
Yep.
And he's following the guidelines from a book, and I'm watching it unfold. Yeah. I mean, and most GMs do this.
Okay.
But I know exactly the moves that he's making and what he's doing, and I'm like, okay, I see it. It's systematic, and he's following it to the T.
Okay.
You think about that new locker room. That's in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you when we get off here, man. And you're gonna go through, you're gonna read, you're gonna be like, you gotta be kidding me.
I can't wait, brother.
Yeah.
213-9527. Has passed away due to COVID-19. Pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you. On the lunch break.
All right, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live on kyokradio.org. And it got hot in Texans training camp facility over the weekend when guess who came to dinner? Deshaun Watson showed up. Say, yo, I got to get my test done so I can be cleared to show up for training camp when y'all start practice on Wednesday. G.
Yes, sir.
That was a G move right there. That was a G move, right? You're not going to void my contract. You're not going to say I didn't show up. You're not going to say I abandoned my responsibility. I'm checking in. Right. As a general manager, what was the move there? What was the play? Talk to us.
Well, as a GM, I can't speak for Nick and those guys over there, but I can speak for myself, and I can tell you that if I were in that position, we would never be in this position. And the reason I know that is because there is a disconnect in how the communication is going on over there. And those athletes are different now. They need someone that they can really relate to, and somebody that's going to be real with them. Of course, you're not going to be able to keep everybody. That's the nature of the game, nature of the business. But there's going to be a level of transparency that had to have happened. And even with the situation where Deshaun is right now, there are situations and instances where that teachable moments. So where they are right now is still at that standoff. But he's being very smart with what goes on. And of course, when it comes down to it, I think the league wants to maintain that type of control, which I get from a business standpoint. But at the same time, with these athletes are very smart now. They have access to a lot of knowledge. So they know their worth and they know what they bring to the table. And when you have athletes like that right now, you have to learn how to adapt. And I don't know if the NFL is in a position where they don't want to adapt or they're behind the 8 ball in a lot of these instances. So it's going to be real interesting, with everything that's going on with that whole situation there. And then even these COVID vaccination situations.
I was going to get to that next.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a wild ride.
Hold on, no. Hold on. Don't take me too fast, G. I got to get it in.
I got you. I'm going to slow down. I'll slow down.
Go back to Deshaun, though. So I asked that from a front office standpoint, your thoughts on it. As a player standpoint, you talk to your agent, you talk to your attorney. What is the chess move strategy that you think Deshaun could be trying to make by saying, I'm going to show up. I still want out.
Right.
I still want to be traded.
Right.
Look, I haven't been convicted of anything, and the league has not suspended me yet or put me on the commissioner's exempt list. Right. What's the chess move, man? As a player.
So as a player, you show up, because what happens is if you don't show up, they get the opportunity to blackball you. Yeah. And if that happens, now it doesn't really matter what goes on. You'll never get the opportunity to play again, or he's a bad apple, and you give them even more ammunition. Right. So as a player, you show up, you do what you need to do. You may run around a little bit. I mean, clearly he's been working out. He's shown that he's still getting after it. He hadn't just been sitting on the couch. So he's a professional. He knows how to do that. But his camp has been keeping him upright throughout this whole process. And for him to show up, I mean, as a player to see that, that's a smart move. That's a very smart move, because of the fines and all those different things. I get it. But from a long-term perspective, you want to be able to control that narrative. And he stepped up and he said, look, all right, I'm here. Well, what are we doing? I'm here to do this and I'm here to do that. And we'll see how it goes. But I still am in the same headspace beforehand than I am now. Like, hey, I don't want to be here because of. And if that because of is no longer there, his mind will change. And the money will come back. All those different things. So some things have to change, seriously, because the NFL is not in the business of losing money. And it's been clear that they're not in the business of losing money. So we'll see how everything plays out, man.
I agree. I feel like he made a move and he's like, your move. And he already knows the next 3 steps he's about 6 steps ahead of.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get back to the other part real quick before we have to go.
All right.
The vaccine.
Yeah.
NFL says if an unvaccinated player causes an outbreak, that they will have to forfeit the game, and if it cannot be rescheduled in the normal 18-week season, then nobody gets paid. Neither player on either side gets paid. And they just added a fine of $14,000 some odd dollars to the equation. You got a lot of folks speaking out. Come on, former player, tell me something. Tell me something.
Well, it's simple, man. You talk about athletes and the amount of money that they make. You talk about the NFL and the amount of money that it makes on an annual basis. Then you think about, let's just say a job in the city, where you have employees there. Now, the job that has the employees that aren't making an astronomical amount of money, aren't on TV, aren't doing all these different things. They may mandate, okay, well, we got to do this and we got to do that in order to make sure that we're going to be able to fulfill our obligations. Okay. Now you go to the NFL and they say the same thing. You're not normal. You can't do that because everybody's watching now. And it's the same thing with athletes. Athletes say, well, hey, I'm getting paid this, but I realize I'm worth this. Now the fans say, well, you're making this much more than me, so shut up and put your pads on, right? It's the same scenario when you look at this whole COVID situation. You're dealing with individuals, you're dealing with human beings that are scared and they are petrified. You're dealing with fans that are scared of this uncertainty. And then when you mandate something like this at this level, now what has happened is you're showing your hand that it's about the money, and Are you really looking at the health? Are you really looking at all the different things? Because the show must go on, right?
Yeah.
In order to have an NFL, okay, we got to play. We got to do this. We got these TV deals and this and that and the third. But there again, there's a disconnect in the communication. And now you just basically said, okay, from a tyranny standpoint, you're going to do what it is that we say, and that's it. When somebody at a lesser organization could get away with that, let's just say a little mom and pop store in the hood somewhere could say, hey, look, y'all got to get vaccinated because, if we don't do this, we don't shut down. When the NFL does it, it's on a grand scheme, and you get a chance to see all of the fallout and the dialogue. So it's a very slippery slope, and it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. Because they dropped the ball on a lot of different issues.
They dropped the ball often.
Yeah, so
outsource your problems because y'all are not good at solving them. All right, Garrick, I gotta hit you. Like I got the brother. I love you. I love you. We carry the same name, different mothers.
Yes, sir.
All right, watch this. You in the league right now.
Okay.
You taking a shot?
Nah, it ain't enough. It's not enough. Nah. Because I put my body through so much. And the reason I say that is because players put their bodies through so much stress on a daily basis. I mean, there's really no time off.
Okay.
If I go and get this shot, I run the risk of speeding up a process in which now, hey, look, I put a price tag on something that's going on with me. I've had former teammates that went and got the shot and they're not doing well. I mean, and this is people I know, and I'm like, oh my God, like, okay, I get it now. So, and this is from a heart standpoint, with what goes on and where I'm from and who I am. There's a little bit more of a situation of I need some more information.
Okay.
And then those types of things, because, at the end of the day, we all need to be cleaner. We all need to take and be accountable. So the moment they say, hey, take the mask off, everybody went back to being nasty. You're not washing your hands.
That's my next question.
You know what I'm saying?
So you Garrick Jones said, I'm not taking the shot.
Nah.
Are you wearing your mask? Are you social distancing? Are
Absolutely.
you washing your hands?
Absolutely.
Are you still keeping measures in place to mitigate catching, spreading anything COVID-19?
Yes, sir. You better believe it. I just came from Vegas where it's wide open.
Yeah, it is.
And you better believe that I was taking the proper precautions, because I understand that this type, from what I've seen, if you get this virus, what happens is it's going to tear you down and it's going to break your body down. And then you think about the wear and tear that's put on these professional athletes, because they're utilizing their bodies each and every day. And then I always talk to people and say, man, it ages you in dog years. So if anything that happens to you, you get it times 10 as a person who isn't necessarily that active. So my sick is a little bit different from somebody else. The level of pain I walk around with every day would cripple somebody that hadn't been through this. So it's a little different, man. So you have to be very, very careful. But we should have been doing that in the beginning.
And from Jump Street.
Right.
I got another level I got to go to. You one of these coaches. You the offensive coordinator. You the line coach. You the defensive coordinator.
Okay.
They say you got to be vaccinated. Got to be vaccinated before you can go around the players.
Mm-hmm.
One of these coaches that's about to walk off the job over this vaccine.
Right. No, you have to stand your ground with it, man. True enough, the money's good, but there again, there's too much uncertainty. It is what it is. So
and let's have this dialogue, because I'm vaccinated. I have not stopped since COVID hit, because the radio station is essential.
Exactly.
So as soon as I was able to get the vaccine, I got
it. Right.
Underlying health conditions, I got the vaccine.
Right.
So we're gonna be good no matter how this conversation goes.
Absolutely.
What more information do you need to be able to feel comfortable about taking the vaccine? Personally, Garrick Jones.
Personally, I need to understand that they understand a bit more about it, because there's a lot of uncertainty in everything that is being said and has been said over the last year and a half. There's been a lot of changes You know what I'm saying? And then you think about everything that's out there right now that there has not been a cure for, but all of a sudden we got this, and now we got a cure for it. So there's got to be a level of transparency that I have to see. There has to be a level of test that I have to see. And then on top of that, I have to allow myself to go to and get the cardiovascular test and everything to make sure that if anything happens to me, I can withstand. Because I have family members that passed from this. I have people that are from my old neighborhood that have passed from this. And
COVID.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And so I have firsthand accounts of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is being very safe, which is common sense, people. I need you to be clean, please. You know, and that whether you vaccinated or not, nothing changes in my mind, whether you're vaccinated or not. And they've turned it into something that has divided us. It's been crazy. I'm like, so, but what has to happen is, for me, I have to see certain aspects. Now, my children, they're vaccinated. They're doing what they're doing because they are active, right? They're going to school every day. But where I am, I put my body
on. 1 second. Let me hit the top of the hour real quick.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Legendary 1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, at 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, kyokradio.org, also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Holding Garrick Jones, former member of the Houston Texans, played the NFL, the CFL, commissioner and founder of the State's Developmental Football League, and now he's killing it with hashtag athlete take back and fan-centric and so much more. I wanted to keep him over for just a little bit longer as we're having this discussion about COVID-19, the vaccine, the NFL, coaches either being asked to leave or choosing to leave, and some players really speaking out like DeAndre Hopkins, like DJ Reader, like Cole Beasley, and others. So for you, it's more information personally for Garrick Jones to say, I feel like I can take this and be okay. Because for you, your body and your mind are your business. You know, and then some, because you're a father, a husband, all of that. So something happened to Garrick, something's gonna happen to a whole lot of people. I'm
talking about a whole lot of people, and it goes beyond my immediate family, all my extended family, all of the people that I'm in business with, all those different things. So, you know, when I'm talking to folks and they're listening to everything that I'm saying, and a lot of times they end the whole conversation with like, so we just need to make sure that you're okay. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to be okay. And it's that deal. So I have to be, cognizant of everything that goes on, and I have to scrutinize it with a fine-tooth comb, no matter what it is, whether it's business, whether it's calculated risk, all these different things. The whole vaccine situation, I can't just willy-nilly go follow and do some things when I know that if something were to happen to me, that's it, right? Everything that I built to this point will keep going at some degree, but it won't be as if I'm there with that passion and that purpose as well. So, for me, I have to be very diligent. I have to do my due diligence. They have to do their due diligence. It can't continue to change. It can't continue to be, okay, well, we're going to try this. We're going to try that. If you're trying all these different things, basically what's going on is we're going to lab rat you. I mean, you think about Facebook, you think about everything that goes on in social media, they're tracking all these things. So you think about that rat that's in that maze. This is a real thing, right? So for them to be able to go through and look at everything you're doing and automatically advertise to you from your preferences and things that you've done in the past, they're kind of directing you. So ultimately, we just have to be smart. We have to be, use common sense. And every day, you come into contact with common sense isn't so common, but we have to really do that. So whether you're vaccinated or whether you're unvaccinated, we can still live in cohesiveness and be mindful and intentional everything we do. Like I say, I deal with people who are vaccinated, deal with people who aren't vaccinated on a daily basis, but I'm in a position where if I choose to deal with somebody, I can from a personal standpoint, personal space, or I can be in my house and get everything I need to get done because I put in that work to do that. But you know, at the end of the day, the NFL is going to make their rules and they're going to mandate what they mandate, and the athletes are going to have to adhere to that or not be a part of it. But you get a chance to see where they are. Like I say, there's a disconnect. How do we work together? It has to be the objective. How can we do this together in order to facilitate the end game? I think a lot of people lose sight of the end game each and every day when they start getting into the emotions of everything, and the logic is out the window at that point. So I'm all about the long ball, man. It's very rarely do people go to a baseball game just to watch, you know, pop flies or grounders all day. They won't see that home run.
They want to see one get yanked out the yard a little.
Yes, sir.
I want to touch on a couple more things. The NFL is still a private owned business, right?
Right.
So there are a lot of folks that are talking about First Amendment, misquoting HIPAA, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
This is a private business that's saying, here's how we want to operate going forward.
Right.
It's a big private business, and they've even give up some of their antitrust exemptions just so they can run their business the way that they want to run.
Right.
I guess for me, folks want it to be the owners can say whatever they want to say when it comes to you and me talking about contracts and holding out.
Right.
But when it's something like this, then oh no, you violating my rights.
Right.
You can't make them do that.
Right.
What say you as a businessman? What say you as that?
Well, from a business standpoint, you know, business is business. And once again, you know, business and emotions aren't good. They'll never work together. It's like oil and water, right? So you look at how people perceive certain things that go on and be like, okay, when it comes down to contracts and so on and so forth, just hush. Shut up, put your helmet on, shut up, dribble the ball, don't entertain us, right? And then when it comes down to this, with the COVID situation, okay, no, they have rights, blah, blah, blah. So you get a chance to see, you know, the bias. And those are the things that, from an educational standpoint, as big business, you have to teach people, because what will happen is they'll end up being divided. Now, if you want to be divisive and you want to keep people divided so they can't come together to make significant changes, I see that. In big business, sometimes, the majority of the time, that's big business all the way through. I'm going to keep them divided so we can do what we need to do. And then at the end of the day, they're going to need an outlet because they're not able to come outside and all these different things. So they're going to come running to us. Right. So it's a systemic thing. But if you want to do great business, and this is for anybody in business, any major organization, this is for the tip top, whatever, you have to educate the people that support you. That's your athletes and your fans. You have to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
So they understand exactly what's going on, what's happening, so they can be in the know. That way, they're able to make the best choices because you've given them a choice. Yeah. Unfortunately, big businesses make choices for people. And once people really understand what goes on, they don't like that. And then that's when you get the rebellion. That's when you get the, oh, no, I'm going to retire. You know, no, you're not going to make this choice for me. Right. So it's about the communication and just figuring out how we can come together so it's advantageous for all parties involved. And you don't get a lot of that with your big time sports organizations, but we're gonna change that. Don't worry about it.
And that's why I love what you're doing, man. Because if you don't start with education, man, it becomes control, domination, and you know, just folks taking advantage of people. I want to ask you about one more thing, and then I know you got to go. You played, and you do a very phenomenal job with diversity and inclusion. The NFL is going to play the Lift Every Voice and Sing before every home game this year. Right. Before every game this year, instead of that first week like they. Okay, I get it. Right. At the end of the day, what's the song gonna change? You just talked about division, causing division. Why we keep getting holidays and songs? When are we gonna get meaningful change? When are we gonna get folks literally sitting down and coming up with ideas for meaningful change? It ain't gonna happen with a song. It ain't gonna happen with, you know, jerseys and T-shirts and all that. We've seen that. Right. Garrick, talk to me, man.
It's going to take education, right? It's going to take organization, and it's going to take funding. And that's ultimately what the whole fan-centric movement is. That's ultimately what all these different movements that we've put together are. It's going to be everybody coming together, and doing this thing the right way. I don't care if you're 12-foot purple and you're an avatar. I don't care if you're gay, you're straight, you can be black, white, Latino, it doesn't matter. You can be from another country. This is the movement for the people.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what fan-centric is. It's the movement for the people. The people are going to come together, and we're going to educate them, and we're going to give them outlooks that they never had, instances that they've never even thought about before. Because as you grow up, you have a bias. Everybody has a bias.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
But what we've done is we're going to eliminate those excuses. We're going to eliminate all of those principles, and we're going to give it to you in a reality that you can understand, and that we're going to incentivize you learning by allowing you to have more of a say and allowing you to have more tokens and everything from these communities in order to facilitate the change that we want to see. I tell people all the time, and it's kind of like Tupac, Tupac said, I believe he was talking to Puffy, somebody he was at war with at the time. He said, don't go to war unless you got your money right.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
You have to be able to put yourself in a position to change your space.
Yeah.
And that's where generational wealth comes in. And you don't have to go to war.
Yeah.
But you have to even that playing field, and you have to put yourself on in that space. So every movement, every generation, or every family has one person or one or two people that are going to have to be that sacrificial lamb in order to make that happen.
Yeah.
And when that happens, especially in our community, and when people step up and say, look, I'll be the sacrificial lamb in this deal. I'm going to sacrifice everything that I know in order to make sure that everybody's going to be in a better place. Right. That's when we make it, and that's what I'm challenging all of these different races, all of these different people, all of these different backgrounds. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a beef, or everybody has woe is me. That I don't want to hear that. It's time to put your money where your mouth is. And it's time for us to put this thing in play, because once she starts running, she'll never stop. Mm-hmm. And it's for the greater good of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, you did it again. Another one, as DJ Khaled would say. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you and all the great stuff you're doing, man.
Man, this whole fan-centric movement, like I say, guys, this is not my movement. This is the people's movement. I don't want people to think that I started this whole deal. No, this is a group of individuals that, have reached out to me and during the whole GM push and said, man, we need to do this. I said, fine, let's put it together. Go ahead and run. And these folks said, hey, look, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Hey, we need your help to put it out there. So the whole fan-centric situation, you can actually join the Telegram group. That's t.me/fan-centric. And from there, you'll get a lot of information on token launches, pre-sales, friends and family sales, public sales, and so on and so forth. They can go to #AthleteTakeback. So you get a chance to see all of the different partners in this movement. And just get a feel for what's going on and what's happening and what is about to happen, because it's time for a change. Yeah. And the people have to speak. People got to speak. Yeah. If they don't speak, it takes a village to raise a child, and this is a child. So we need your help.
Yeah. All right. Well, brother, you already know where I'm at. I appreciate you. We'll be talking again. We'll have you back on soon, man.
Yes, sir. You better believe it. I'll be here, man.
All right, brother. Take care, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Garrick Jones, y'all. Garrick Jones. Great conversation. Great discussion. I appreciate him as always. We got to take a break. We'll come back with more Oh My Goodness Monday right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. I will get with you later, man.
So let me tell you the book real quick so you can look it up. So the book is called The Packer Way by Ron Wolf. And it's 9 stepping stones to building a winning organization. So just skim it. Just skim it. And you'll see verbatim what he's doing.
Yep. I will definitely do it.
All right, Doc. All right, I'll catch you, man.
Okay,
All right,
man.
bro. Later.
Later.
Right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139.
Wow.
800-298-0139.
Willie, did you get that?
298-0139.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 a.m., 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
Give the people time. Give people what they want. The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hi, this is TJ from South Park. I listen to the lunch break with AJ Jones on 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all. We back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, KYOKradio.org. And what a conversation with Garrick Jones. And for those who are wondering about that book that he was talking about, I don't know if y'all heard us offline, but if you ever wonder how some organizations are running their front office, you want to check out The Packer Way. The Packer Way by Ron Wolf, legendary front office person for the Green Bay Packers. The Packer Way. Willie Gibson, The Packer Way. All right, let me check this out. Big Time Floyd said, what did Big Time Floyd say? Hold on, let me put that up. Big Time Floyd said, hello, AJ, Garrick, and the Breakers. Regarding the vaccine in the NFL, the choice is real simple. Take the shot and continue the cash flow, or refuse and retire from the game. The owners lost big money last year with no fans. Do you think they'll take another hit to satisfy selfish players who refuse to comply? One thing I love about Big Time Floyd, he don't never mix his words. Big Time Floyd don't ever mix his words. Part of the reason why I wanted to have the discussion with Garrick is to just understand from someone who's non-vaccinated, who is we can be peaceful, we can talk about it civilly, to just understand. And for him, it's more information. And he was real specific about the areas where he wanted to see that information come from. I grew up with medical professionals around me. I've been closely connected with doctors and surgeons and transplant surgeons. And even with that level of specialty, one thing that they all said, even though they didn't say it at the same time together, they all said this one thing in common. It is the practice of medicine. Sometimes they'll say, all right, let's try this. It doesn't work. Let's try that. It doesn't work. Let's try this. It doesn't. Oh, so you don't have a tolerance for this. So that means we got to do that. It's the practice of medicine. And some folks think that that makes us as people guinea pigs. I don't think it does. You can be an expert in your field and not always get it right the first time. It's the fact that you try something else and try, okay, it did this, let me try that. Okay, it did that when I did this, so let me try this. Or if I just tweak it this way, it's the practice of medicine. And man, the way some go for Dr. Fauci and others who have been practicing medicine for a lot longer than many of them have been alive, just because he said 1 minute you got to do this and the next minute we've learned you got to do. The information, to me, is what leads the discussion and the ultimate decisions. But one thing I don't do, I'm a little different than most, I don't get my life-changing and life-impacting information off of Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, Reddit, or some of these other real quick blink social media platforms. I have a relationship with my doctor. I can go to my doctor and say, all right, so what's the real deal on this right here? How does that affect my makeup? I ain't talking about everybody in the world. I'm talking about my makeup. And me sharing my personal medical stories is not a violation of HIPAA. You asking me that is not a violation of HIPAA. If as an organization, I have employees or coworkers and you ask me about their medical history and I give you all of their medical history along with their name, their identification, and all that kind of stuff, that's a violation of HIPAA. I mean, no shade at Dak Prescott. Clearly, he does not know. You can ask me. I can tell you, and I haven't violated anything. I just told you. Or I can say, that's personal. I'm not going to tell you. Has nothing to do with HIPAA. The Cowboys can't release Dak's information. That's a violation of HIPAA. And again, it's not he's so dumb. It's not. Most folks don't deal with that kind of stuff. And, again, people don't always just find a verifiable source to get the information. And by the way, Wikipedia is not the trusted source for every bit of information out there. Well, Wikipedia says, dude, there's somebody that looks and breathes just like you and me that puts Wikipedia information out. All I'm saying is wherever you need the information, get the information. If you got questions, go to trusted sources. Some grainy YouTube video is not a trusted source. Just because somebody calls themselves doctor this and doctor that, you got an eye doctor trying to argue down an infectious disease doctor who's been doing it for 4 different decades. And you got an eye doctor telling him he's dead wrong. Bruh, I need glasses, I'll holler at you. I got questions about infectious diseases and viruses. Yeah, I'm going to holler at him. You know what he's talking about. It's like the dude that can fix your carburetor. He can get you some bootleg videos. You need them latest Jordans. He got those too. Your girl need a Louis Vuitton purse. He got that too. And all of it is shady. All of it. You don't want to wear that jewelry out in the sun, or when you shower, that purse going to start tearing up and you're going to find out it ain't Louis Vuitton, it's Bowie Vuitton. You don't have to go take your car to a mechanic to fix what your boy did. Be careful where you get your life-impacting information from. Players are going to have to make a choice. I hope they make it off of the best, verifiable, trusted information available. These are sons, WNBA, these are daughters. They're not just there for my entertainment. I want to see them win and live, not just play. Take a break. Be right back with more after this on the lunch break. If you want to get in, 281-453-1000. Phone line's going to be wide open for the next 20 minutes. 281-453-1000. Or text me, 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. 5005. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Oh my goodness, Monday.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. That's 800-219-8332.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org. Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, KYOKradio.org. Also streaming on Facebook at The Lunch Break KYOK, at The Lunch Break KYOK, on YouTube, The Lunch Break with AJ Jones, and on Twitter, at Lunch Break KYOK, at Lunch Break KYOK. Appreciate y'all tuning in. CJ, I see you laughing out loud. You know somebody done brought you something that is like, oh yeah, girl, I got it straight from New York. And you took a chance on that thing, and that thing, you can send it back straight back to New York. I mean it. I used to buy all kinds of stuff from different people that would come into the barbershop or, different places that I frequented. I ain't gonna lie, I bought a bootleg video or two. And it's just like, no, wait a minute. Where did they record this at again? And at the bottom of the ocean? Like, what in the world? I'm so glad we ain't got to do that no more. It's crazy. Speaking of, though, What is the deal with premium or Peacock Plus? CBS. Hello? CBS. It's a consumer. Why do I have to pay to watch the Team USA men's basketball lose? Why is that on Peacock Plus? Why? Why, folks? Why? I signed up for Peacock. I did it. I broke down. I wanted all my Olympic content. I wanted to be able to get my stuff so I can, I can report to the people what happened. I go to pull up the basketball game against France, and that bad boy is on the pay part. Guess where I left it? I'm not doing it. I mean, listen. It's oh my goodness. Why y'all trying to make me pay for stuff? I just cut the cord with cable not too long ago. I got Fire Stick, I got Roku, I got Hulu, I got stuff. Netflix, I got stuff. But by the time you pay $4.99 here and $14.99 there and $6.99 here, and by the time you get the bundle with Peacock Plus and Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, you back up to $89.99. I ain't doing it. I'm fasting from paying for Premium Plus apps. I'm fasting. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, man, you said you paid $89.99.
I know people paying more than that, bruh, for cable and satellite and all that.
You lying. You messing up my rhyme.
Bruh.
Hey, look here, man.
Bruh. Go back. Hold on. Greatest. Go make me pay to watch them lose to France. I ain't doing it.
Hey, man. Hey, check it out, though, Dre, man. Okay, all of them cats play in the NBA, man. So, I mean, I really don't feel sorry. I mean, all of them guys that play for France, all of them cats in the league, something a big, real big guy wall. All the other cats play. I mean, Utah and the Clippers, and so they just didn't work. I mean, man, we was going to get LeBron and Steph and Jimmy Harden and Kyrie Irving, man, and John Morant.
Bruh.
We need to send our best, man.
Bruh. It's like, okay, this is just the qualifying team. When we get in that gold medal round, coming to the stage all the way from Akron, Ohio, Mr. Space Jam 2, LeBron James, all the way from the Golden State, none other than Steph. I shoot threes, Curry. I'm telling you, man, they're going to have to come out with a whole different squad. The way they getting beat like a drum. That ain't right. I shouldn't say that. The way they getting beat like a drum. Man, they lost to France.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, because I watched it on tape later. People had already spoiled it for me. But when I seen the game, they was up by about 7, 8 points with maybe about 4 minutes ago. I said, ain't no way they're going to blow it.
Greatest, you just got to the real deal. It's the story. And then it's the alleged story, and it's the real deal. You just got to the real deal. Because not only did they lose, but they got walked down and lost.
Hey, man, what turned the tide in that game, I'm not hardly jiving you, baby. You remember when my man with Phoenix, the guard with Phoenix, the light-skinned brother.
Devin Booker.
Yeah, Booker. Rudy Gobert knocked him down. It was an accident, man. And Gobert, extended his hand to help the brother up. The brother, rejected it, man. And I think that would fired up France, man. Hey, man, the man trying to help you up, bro. It ain't that serious. He probably still kind of mad for what happened like that. Drew Holiday with his teammate. Now you got to combine now, brother. Okay. Why they didn't play Craig Middleton, man? I seen him sitting on the bench.
I don't know. I don't know nothing right now. I do know that they get a little frustrated with Pop in those post-game interviews talking about why they lost and giving all that credit to France and all them. Somebody said Pop trying to run that San Antonio Spurs offense, and that thing didn't work in the regular season. Why we think it's going to work now? I don't know, bro. I feel like the way this team is constructed, I'm not dogging them. I know they still gonna win the goal. I know that. Let me say that right now. On hold on, what's the date on the count? On July 26th at 1:33 p.m. Central Time, the United States men's basketball team is still gonna win the gold. But right now they're doing it the Milwaukee Buck way. It's ugly. It's real ugly. And you may win the whole doggone chip, and you might do all of that. But right now you're doing it real ugly. They got all these ISO players, and everybody takes the turn trying to beat their man and scoring points, while the other team is running plays and sharing the ball and really dominating on the inside. Did you see that front court that they put out in France? Everybody was 7-3 and up.
Yeah, it made Draymond look like a little boy, man.
Bro.
And he was trying to play physical like he do, in the NBA, but it ain't working with them big French guys.
Bro. And you can knock that ball off the rim once it touches the rim. They ain't got to wait to see if that thing gonna go in. If it don't go in the first time, they knocking that bad boy off of there. So, I mean, again, bro, they got to figure that thing out. And Pop got to come on with. Look, I'm scared of Pop when I'm in front of him because he'll go off on you. But right now, for me sitting in my show in the locked-in office and studio and all that, Pop, you got to be best. You got to be better than you've been.
Well, I think Durant will finally figure it out. His shot really ain't been falling like it normally do when he playing against LeBron. Booker, he just got there, so he'll step it up. And then once Middleton and Holiday, I'm like you. I think they'll eventually get together, man. But if they lose, what, one more? Is it one more or two more? That's it.
I think it's two.
Okay.
I should know, but listen, I got in my feelings when I had to go on Peacock Plus to see the game, so I don't even really care right now. I'm in my feelings still right now. I'll get out of them later, but right now I think they got to lose two more, and then that's the first time they lost a game internationally since 2004. That's significant.
And I remember that, man, because he had LeBron, Carmelo. He had them guys sitting on the bench, man. And my son, 33, at the time, my son was about 15. I said, why he won't play them young cats, man? So, he might need to, you got JaVale McGee. Yeah, he might be right about playing.
You know what? If you don't hush, you better let JaVale get up there and knock that ball off the rim like them French players did. Y'all. They gonna win Wednesday. They got Iran on Wednesday. They gonna beat Iran by about 40. Yeah, they gonna beat them. They gonna beat them.
I don't know how much time you got, man, but if I could, Simone Biles is great. She's the greatest of all time. And I watched her performance last night. It was a 10 to me, but that little, when she kind of fell off the mat a little bit. But the thing that gets me about them announcers, man, it's like they look for a reason to criticize, man. This young lady is a superstar. And she made one minor mistake, and it's like it's the end of the world, man. How come people, it's like they get a joy out of see you failing, man?
All right, so we're not gonna be militants with the commentators, man. We're not gonna protest the commentators. All right, we're just not gonna do that. Can we fight the power on something? Here's what she said though, man, and it kind of broke my heart. She said, it wasn't an easy day for me or my best, but I got through it. I truly do feel that I have the weight of the world on my shoulders at times. I know I brush it off and make it seem like pressure doesn't affect me, but I can't say the word she said. Sometimes it's hard. Ha, ha, ha. The Olympics are no joke, but I'm happy my family was able to be with me virtually. They mean the world to me. This young lady, man, is human. I keep trying to tell people, this young lady is human. They didn't make her in a test tube. They didn't raise her in a lab. She's not a cyborg. She's not artificial intelligence. And, she's not one of those kids that was raised up from the time she was in a mama womb to be a gymnast. She got real feelings. She makes real mistakes. Every now and then she's too, powerful, and she'll take a step back or have a big hop, or she'll fall off the mat. But guess what? We're not gonna dog her. We're not gonna dog her. No, we're not. No, we're not.
I know it, man. The only problem I got with her, man, is when she in town, you understand, being from Houston, she ought to come on Andre Jones show and talk to Andre. You know, go to Mother Man show, the legend. I ain't gonna disrespect your station.
Let me tell you something. By not saying Ralph Cooper's name on my show is disrespectful. That's the godfather of sports.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, she needs to come on your show and Ralph's show. You know, she'll see what her true love is, man, but she have nothing to hang her head on. And I'm like you, brother, she human. She make mistakes, but she's still great, man.
Yeah.
So I know it's about almost time for you to go, but I'm going to take your word, man. Today, you told me at 1:33 that USA is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Rumble, young man, rumble.
The greatest of all time. I appreciate that, brother. No, they're going to be all right. Men's basketball is going to be all right. I owe the 3-on-3 women's basketball team an apology. I tried to play them as if I didn't know who they were. Them sisters can ball. And that 3-on-3 game is exciting because it's fast-paced. It's nonstop. You get 1 point from inside the three-point line. You get 2 points outside of what would be the three-point line. And it's kind of like backyard basketball. You get it off the rim, you got to take it to the line, and then you can go with it. You know, as soon as somebody make it, you throw the ball to somebody, get it to the to the line, and then you go. And man, I love it. I love Team USA on the women's side. I'm still trying to figure out how Team USA 3-on-3 on the men's side did not make it. How in the world they didn't qualify? Who was on that team? I need to know. But yeah, the women are getting it in. I'm real happy for them. And I did. Yes, I did. I did it for the first time in my sports career. I reported on table tennis. I sure did. The men and the women representing the United States of America, table tennis in round 1 was awesome. They killed it. I mean, I have never seen folks moving that fast in table tennis, and they were giving it all they had. Man, they were about 10 feet off the table, giving it all they had. I loved it. Loved every bit. Had a little table tennis table out in ping. We called it ping pong. Had a little ping pong table out in the garage. Friends would come over. We play a little ping pong, what have you. Ain't no way. I had no idea they were getting down like that. No idea. The men's badminton team got eliminated. That was high pace. You know, the little small tennis rackets, the little birdie, and they hit the back. Man, they were cutting up. You mess around out there and get hit in the eye. You get hit in the eye. Is ping pong a real Olympic sport? Yes. The way they were playing it Saturday morning, yes. Absolutely is. Absolutely. I loved every bit of it. The hand-eye coordination is absolutely amazing. Enjoyed every bit of it. And to the Olympians that won gold medals in sports where the Americans had not won or did not win frequently, like women's fencing. Oh, I was so happy for the young lady from the University of Kentucky. She won. As soon as she hit the young lady with the saber, she was like, oh my God. She pulled her helmet off. Oh my God. I was happy for her. But baby, put your helmet on until old girl get off the court. Or whatever the thing's called that y'all on. Because she might have been mad. She lost for the first time. I want you to be all right. But she pulled her helmet off. Oh my God. I was so happy for her. Congratulations to her. Had a couple of men win in the rifle shooting. Some good stuff out there. I like the Olympics is kind of cute. I liked it. Katie Ledecky got beat for the first time in a couple of Olympics. She is a swimming goddess and got edged out at the wall by a teenager from Australia. Now, the Australian swim coach, all right, I get it. I understand. I'm not going to pour sour grapes or cold water on his celebration. It was a bit much. I get it. It's the Olympics. I have never been an Olympic champion. I never been to the Olympics, not as a contestant. So, I'm not going to be that guy that's going to talk bad about, about somebody's celebration. But back to the athletes in the pool, that's why they swim them. Just because you're supposedly the best of the best, you got to do it from start to finish. And she got walked down. Katie Ledecky got walked down by this young girl. Katie Ledecky had the lead in the race and got walked down. Can't do nothing but come back in your next race and say, let go. So, yeah, good stuff out there. Good stuff out there. The women's gymnastics team has some work to do. The men's gymnastic team has some work to do. Team USA men's basketball, a lot of work to do. They're going to be right on Wednesday when they take on Iran. Katie Ledecky got to come back. A couple of new faces in swimming that won gold medals for the United States. So I think at last check, let me see the medal count. I think this is updated. China leads the way with 18 medals. They've got 6 gold, 5 silver, and 7 bronze. Team USA, 7 medals. They've got, I'm sorry, 18 total for China. Again, 6 gold, 5 silver, 7 bronze. Team USA is second with 14 medals, 7 gold medals, 3 silver, and 4 bronze. And then Japan, the host nation, has 13 medals, 8 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze. So there you go. That's the most recent medal count. Keith Hennig, these teenagers are lighting it up this year. They really are. They really are. And I want to see them keep it going. All right, let me take a break. Get ready to wrap it up after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours. Any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760. If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you. and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, man, I'm back. I'm back on the lunch break. Got a shout out to a friend of mine that will go nameless who just made my day. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. I can't stop. My jaws hurt. Got my jaws hurting. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Got a shout out to Milo too. Milo just got me laughing like crazy over here. Y'all know Milo from Keeping Up with the Joneses. Milo Milo got walked down like Katie Ledecky got walked down in the Keeping Up with the Joneses. He was up top, him and Ferdinand, and then Delano walked him down. And I think it was Chi-Town beat him in football, and Delano walked Big Mike down in basketball. But Milo said, "I just got some fake polo shirts from my friend who just got back from visiting New York." I'm telling y'all, you got to be careful. I got some friends. I got some homeboys that if I just want stuff, I can call them and get stuff. It ain't going to last long. It's going to look good for a minute, if that long. I'm telling you, I've learned the hard way. I got some real friends that have, I'm not saying they ain't my real friends, but I got some other friends that have real hookups. Now, that's a whole different category. I'm talking about the cat or the sister that's always selling something discounted or knockoff. Excuse me. I probably need to quit talking about because I'm messing up their business. Man, sometimes it's best to pay full price. Excuse me, or buy it bulk. Willie Gibson is laughing somewhere right now. He's like, "All right, you're talking about Brad Stevens now. Your technology gonna mess up." I'm just saying, man, you can't get something from everybody all the time. Thank you, Keith. Keith said, "Bless you." Excuse me, allergies. This is not Rona. These are allergies. And I didn't take my allergy medicine today. I was running, trying to get my car serviced and all that kind of stuff before I got in the show. But anyway, so Milo, y'all, we're gonna take up an offering. We're gonna take up an offering. Willie Gibson said, "Ha, me? No, sir." Now, I'm not saying you get bootleg stuff, Willie. I'm just saying I'm talking about these bootleggers, and all of a sudden my allergies are kicking in. Kind of like when I talk about Brad Stevens and then my internet will freeze or I'll get kicked offline. Yeah, somebody's watching. Somebody's listening to me. So anyway, let me get to some birthdays. Had a bunch of birthdays over the weekend, and I want to get to a few of them. But there's one in particular that I want to get to. Emmett Till would have been 80 years old. But we all know what happened to Emmett Till. And when I think about what his mother did, leaving the casket open so that people could see what her baby looked like as a result of just unmitigated, unnecessary, senseless, vile, demonic racism. So I will say happy heavenly birthday, Emmett Till. The battle ain't over, but you are long, long from forgotten. All right, let me hit a couple of other birthdays. Minister Larry Scott from the Not So Christian in Me show celebrating his birthday today. What's up, big dog? Happy birthday to you. Susan Harris Francis celebrating a birthday along with Monique Davis. Terry Lewis is celebrating a birthday. Is that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis? I don't know. That's Terry Lewis. Amy Hell, one of my classmates, celebrating a birthday along with Eric Rigaud. I used to be uber in love with his sister Simone. I'll never forget, me and Billy Montgomery had a moped fight over who was going to go with Simone Rigaud. He jumped on my moped and kicked it. I pushed his down and stepped on it, and neither one of us got to go with her. So happy birthday, Eric. Thank you for that memory. Brenda Lockhart Capers, 57. Ruby Horace, what's up, my sister? Celebrating her birthday. She's celebrating with Reginald Jackson. Ricky Winslow. Y'all remember Ricky. Phi, Slammer, Jammer. Son is doing great things in the NBA. He's celebrating a birthday today. Vanessa Taylor, what's up, big sis? Phyllis Fuller, with your anointed self. Marvin Cunningham is the big 6-0 today, brother. Happy birthday and joy. Robert Blackson is the double nickel. Barbara Jeffrey Taylor, 69. Happy birthday, love. Raphael Barlow celebrating a birthday with Dr. Tamika Manning. She is a awesome young lady. Real big in health and that kind of stuff. Marvin Pierre, Daryl Newborn, that is the father of Rihanna Newborn, and Jay Monet celebrating a birthday. Had some birthdays over the weekend. LaJuan Bass, Andrea Lachey, Candace Martin, Gail Rito, Linda Calloway with her anointed self. Also Rachel Deborah, Ronald Ferguson, Zarek Wiley, Junie Mo Pocket Wallace, your anointed self, Lisa Johnson, Val Keith Winters, Amy Ginger, Michael Moore, Matt Bonhoff, brother, happy birthday to you, and many more. Tamisha Wells, happy birthday, Tamisha. One of the baddest realtors in the game. Happy birthday to you. Anybody else that I forgot, happy birthday, y'all. Again, charge it to my head and not my heart. Dr. Siobhan D. Carr, Judge Siobhan D. Carr celebrated a birthday. And one of our colleagues, Karita Parks, celebrated her birthday as well. All right, let me get out of the way and let this man sing to y'all.
Oh, go shawty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shawty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to all of you. If you got a birthday and you want to celebrate it, let me know. Get it to me. I'll be celebrating them all week long. Again, birthdays at 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. You can text them to me, 832-403-5005, or email them, aj@kylksports.com. That's aj@kylksports.com. Y'all, I'm not gonna do that one. Somebody just sent me, it's Delonte West's birthday, and they tried to call him LeBron James with stepdaddy. Get off my phone. 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 Birthday, folks. Stop it. I'm not doing that one. Y'all crazy. I got to get ready to go. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on here with what you need to know today. And also, Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, the latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly love you. There's nothing you can do about it. But do me a favor, wear your mask where you're supposed to. Wash your hands like you're supposed to. Consider getting vaccinated. And whatever you do, when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person or the player, but the racism. I love y'all. Talk to you tomorrow.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced the appointment of another Republican to the Bipartisan Select Committee to investigate the January 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Pelosi invited Republican Representative Adam Kinzinger of Illinois Sunday to join the committee, now consisting of 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans, all appointed by Speaker Pelosi. State and health officials continue to warn Americans that the pandemic rages on as the more contagious Delta variant of COVID-19 spreads nationwide. Every state in the U.S. reported rising COVID-19 cases last week, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. Louisiana now has the highest growth rate in cases per capita in the U.S., reporting its third highest daily case count since the start of the pandemic. Meanwhile, Dr. Anthony Fauci says officials at the CDC are weighing revising their COVID-19 guidelines to recommend that even fully vaccinated individuals wear their mask in public. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk your team Tuesday.